Howdy. Howdy. Let's try that again. So going live in two places, it's always a challenge. So I am live on YouTube. Welcome to YouTube if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. Today we will be covering you are an entrepreneur. If you are a writer, if you are a reader, if you are in the industry at all, you are an entrepreneur. And we like to talk about that. So that's what we will be talking about today. We actually have a handout. We're going to take you through a few steps on what that means. It's going to be very fun. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Anson, hey, what's going on? So we're coming live from Facebook, live from YouTube, ready for no Facebook gremlins like we had last week. Everybody's like, I can't get onto Facebook. Yeah, that's how we were last week. So take two. We're just going to go for it again. So we have a handout. And now I'm trying to remember how to get to that handout. All right. Okay. So what's going on? What's happening? Where's my partner? Where's my fearless partner? I see people coming on. So yeah, today we're going to talk about being an entrepreneur. Even have a sign. See? Because on YouTube, when you go live on YouTube, it goes like 3, 2, 1. It takes a picture. And so all of my, hey there, hey Bonnie, all of my pictures are always like, of course, which Facebook then saves a picture. And I'm sure that will be the one. Absolutely. That will be the one that it takes. So lots of cool stuff happening. I don't know if you guys have been able to watch the interview with J.K. Simmons, Michelle Schumacher, and Pete Villani. Pretty bleeping fantastic. It was pretty amazing. And talked about what the bleep do we know. Hey, Doug. That was a different screening, actually. But yeah, so it turns out I'll be doing some more interviewing and whatnot with the SAG Foundation. So I'm really excited about that, being able, and also potentially with the publicist as well. So hopefully we'll have even more interviews with more fabulous people. But one of the things, oh, don't kick the table. It's raining. Can you hear that? So cool. Rain, what is this wet stuff? What is this wet thing coming down from the sky? And Californians are like, ah! Thanks, Bonnie. It was an awesome interview. I thought that I was so nervous. Holy smokes. And it's funny. I mean, maybe it's because when I talk to you guys, it's the weirdest. You get used to it after a while, but it's a really weird thing to be talking to you and reading your comments and being so engaged. But I'm all alone. Oh, Scruffles is here. Scruffles is here today. But that is a weird thing. It took me a little, I'm still not quite used to it. I don't know if I'll ever be totally used to it, but you do kind of get used to the idea of that. But this was, and I think it's because I really cared. I wanted to do a really good job. I'm always a little bit nervous, but this time I was really nervous. I don't know. It was fun. And yeah, so we talked about being an entrepreneur. So what we thought we would do, have a handout. Wait, you're so happy. Yay for handouts. Here it is. And I'm even just gonna, oops, put it in there. Hi, Jackie. Yay, video and sound. Yay, we can learn. Yay, oops. Okay, and putting a handout. Did I do it? Did I do it? There it is. There's the handout for you. So it does have you enter your name and email. But the cool thing about that is now we're getting, you know, when I haven't clicked on that page for a while, we are in the process of updating that page. Hopefully it's all good and well. I think it is. I haven't checked it today. It probably should have been the thing that I checked today, because we're updating it and we're putting all the handouts kind of together. So like all the entrepreneur handouts are in one place, and all the reader handouts are one place, and all the writer handouts in one place. We're getting so organized. So, but that's a lot of links and clicking and stuff that we are doing from behind the scenes. So apologize right ahead of time if it's like not happening. I think it's up there. I know that you, yes, it is, because I looked at it today. I did. I just didn't look at the whole page. I only looked at your handout. But let me know. I'm sure you'll let me know. You'll be like, if it doesn't work for some reason, I can post a different way. So let me know. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we will put the handout link into the comments. So let us know if you have comments, questions, whatever. If you guys have any, you know, we've seen some questions. I get questions via email. We get lots of questions, lots of things. And so we pick our topics kind of based on things that people are asking. So if you have a question, let us know and we will try to cover that. So let's take a look-see at that handout. So one of the other cool things is that I'm going to be in a play, acting, well, technically I'm understudying a play, which is really cool because it's like the fun without the trauma. Well, unless it's trauma, like it's like no trauma or really big trauma. So I'm understudying 2 of the 3 roles at the San Diego Repertory Theater. Super excited about that because it's really great theater, and a really they are the deal. They're the real deal, and the artistic director is directing. So I'm really excited about that. So being able to work with him. And there's only 3 women. I'm auditioning 2 of them. And so you'll be seeing me posting for the next few weeks from, we're going to a conference next week. So you'll be posting me. I'll be posting from a bunch of different places. So it'll be kind of fun. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share this experience because now you're going to be kind of looking behind the scenes on an actor prepares on like what kind of scripts. So here it is right here. See my prompt book. And it says, lost in the thrill of it all. So we'll be sharing this a little bit more in Screenreaders, but basically you put the script in there. See how the script is in there? And every week I'll give a little update on what happens, the next step. So that's the first step, is putting the script into an actual book. Because I'm going to be writing all over it. It's going to be all covered right now. See how pretty and clean it is? Not for long. And especially doing 2 roles. I thought about doing 2 books and that just got too much. So I'm going to do both roles in one book. Should be interesting. So, and then I check in at 6:30 every night and it's like, no, or it's not at all. So it'll be an interesting experience. I've done this before as a dancer, swinging. It's called a swing. When you're a dancer and you learn like 4 or 5 roles, and then they say, oh, tonight you're going to be, you're going to be whatever, this role, and then come in on a different day and you're this role. And that's really fun. I always like that with dancing. It's a little different with acting to me. I don't know. I tend to memorize the entire play anyway, so she says with confidence. But I will take that along with me, and you will be involved. What am I doing? I don't need this. Okay, moving on. Handout. That's why I was thinking handout. That's not the handout, but we do have the handout. So let's dive in, shall we? So if you watched the Facebook Live from 2 weeks ago, because last week we had Gremlins, so last week we were going to follow up with the one before. I did not do a handout. So what I did is I took that Facebook Live and that session and put it into a handout, and then we're going to build from that. So we talked about that day, kind of 3 things, my lord, 3 things to do if you are an entrepreneur and you want to begin something, anything, writing, directing, acting, producing, being a reader, all of those things fall under this umbrella. And the reason we talk about this so much is that we talk about this for readers, because readers are absolutely entrepreneurs. Even if you get hired in a 9-to-5 studio job, well, they're never 9 to 5, but even if you get hired in an 11 to 7 studio job, you will, just by the nature of that, people will be asking you to read projects. Things will come to you from different places. Every random person that you meet. I was in a coffee shop working today. Well, actually, last week I was working in a coffee shop. Next to me, someone's writing a screenplay, and I was not in LA. And then today, someone said something. Oh, are you done? When I was packing up, I was like, oh yeah, I'm done. They said, oh, are you done? Are you done? They said something about, are you going home or something? And I was like, oh, sort of. I teach a class and blah, 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 chat. And of course, they knew someone who was in film school. And again, not in LA. So, when you are a reader, there's just opportunity. And when you work in this business, I think that people forget that it's show business. So we wanted to kind of take you through kind of helping you. Oh, let me turn that off. Sorry. Turn off those emails. We want to make sure that we're guiding you. So, hi, Peggy. Nice to see you. So, so I was doing a Facebook Live, and someone was in the room, and they were like, you keep stopping and saying hello to people. I was like, yes, I do. And they were like, don't do that. No, I'm doing that because you guys are my peeps. So I'm saying hello. I know it probably sounds really weird if someone's in the room, but whatevs. Or probably if you're on YouTube. Because I can't really say it's not live. The comments aren't live on YouTube. Or at least I haven't figured that out yet. I'm not going to deal with that now. So, and we're going to be going like Instagram too soon. Because now Instagram has this feature as well. Anyway. So the things that we covered, the first things that we covered last time are the first things that you'll see in the handout. And we did a little thing where you can fill it out. And we made it all fancy with a red carpet. We call it your success path to the red carpet, right? We're making it all fancy. So, but what is your intention? What is it that you want to do? That's the first thing that, that we kind of talked about. And so go back, you might go back just 2 weeks and look at that one, because we cover all of this in great detail. So I'm not going to do these first 3 things in great detail because we already did that. So, but what is it that you want to do? And be very specific. Be very, very specific. Even if you have no idea how to do it, Write it down. What is it? And then the next thing that you do is you look for a mentor. You look for somebody who's already doing what you want to do. So, which is one of the reasons we're here, because we can talk about the reading process. But if it's not reading, if it's writing, filmmaking, whatever, that's the beautiful thing right now, is that most people have paved a way to something. And, actually Doug and I are working on a film, and just yesterday it was like some weird random worlds colliding stuff happened. And I've had that 3 times this week, really crazy worlds colliding stuff, where it's like, I saw someone on TV and I'm like, oh, I know that person. And then I was like, but not from what they're doing there. And then I looked them up, and then I was looking at their Instagram to see if I could connect them to one thing. And then it was like, oh, wow, they're on another project that I'm involved with that has nothing to do with the original thing. So that's being an entrepreneur. That's everything. So, but that's the beautiful thing about where we're at right now, is that there's someone who's pretty much paving the way. Oh, and I was going to say, Doug and I yesterday were doing this project where we suddenly, these genres came together that we haven't really seen mixed. And we were like, oh, haven't seen that genre mixed together. So I think we're meeting tomorrow, by the way. I'll let you know. So that's, yeah, we haven't confirmed that yet. Poor Doug. I'm always like, no. Yeah, so kind of cool. So there's just so many ways that you can reach out. You can find someone that's doing what you already do and what you want to do. And then you can just follow them, find out information about them and find out how did they get to where they were doing what they want to do, because it's all possible. And then you got to build that support system. And Doug and I joke about this a lot too. Sometimes it's not so funny, but in general, it's funny, where people are like, yes, the comments are live on YouTube when your show is live. And I too say hello when new peeps come into the live feed. Yay, Jackie knows. She's going to school me. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, being a reader, Doug says, means being your own boss. And that's true too. So I have to then put YouTube, because YouTube's over here and I don't want to be like, so, because that's what happens with my hair. So I'll do that next so I can see comments on both. What is it you want to do? What do you want to do? Hi, Elizabeth. Betsy, what's going on? Truly wazzy, right? Doug had a very wazzy moment. Hey, Chad. So, yeah. Oh. So, yeah. So then the next thing is that you find your tribe. Hello. Watch the lights. We're your tribe. We're your tribe. That's why we're here. So, but you do want to surround yourself that, because, I was about to say sometimes it's not so funny, but people constantly, and we talked about this at the screening too, like, when you're going to get a real job, like that's like a constant thing that people talk about. And that's exactly how they sound. The wonk wonk people. And when you go back and watch the video from 2 weeks ago, that's my favorite thing that happened in that video, is we came up with, I think it was Nancy came up with the wonk wonk people. So hilarious, right? Wonk wonk wonk. And that's how they sound. So what do you do for a real job? Like wonk wonk. That's not a real job. You got to get it. You got to, like, I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Hey, Gary, how are you? So that's kind of why we're here, is like, we want to be that tribe, because you will, I guarantee it, have people in your world going, like all this. And that is how they sound. That is not an exaggeration, because that's what people do. When they make, sound effects, they become like snap, crackle, pop. You get your little Kellogg's version of life. And it's like people saying, like because that says more about them than you. If someone's in your life going, yeah, that's not possible. No, don't do that. No, it's because that's their fear speaking. So I do it right back on you. So it's like, if people have that fear, they often will roll their eyes at you. And the more success you have, the worse it gets in some ways. And then, well, actually, it goes from like, sure, yeah, whatever, that's never. And people aren't going to, I can't even tell you how many people said, no one's going to go online and want to talk about reading. Okay. 7,000 people in the Facebook group. I think people want to talk about reading. I don't know, call me crazy, but it is like, I get it though. It's kind of weird. I get that part of it, but you have to just kind of keep plugging along. And that's why we're here. Because, when you're feeling that, and I mentioned this before, I sent out an email saying, hey, how's it going? We're here. And got a huge response from that, because it's kind of a shame, but people, that's the first step, is like, they just don't believe you or support you. And then when you do get some success, sometimes it gets even worse. And people start going, oh, look who's too big for their britches. And then they get like that. Like, what is that? Like, what? What? And so people and it can become very isolating. So it is like, people are people are people. We all just want to connect. That's why filmmakers make films. They're trying to connect with some message with each other. So, everyone's the same that way, in my opinion, no matter how big it is and no matter how important the film is and who the big stars are, whatever. There's just this need to connect. Hi. That's for Gary, because he said hi. So I need to say hi. Because I said hi, and he said hi. I was going to sing a song, but I won't. So those are the first things that we covered a couple of weeks ago. And then we wanted to kind of add on that. So some of the, we're in a bunch of different courses. Ourselves, Doug and I are going to a conference next week. So we'll be, no, we won't be there yet, but is that next week? No, following week. Next week, I'll be in San Diego doing the play. The next week will be we're leaving the next day. So I don't know where I'll be. I think I'll be right here, actually. We're going off in a conference and we're learning all these different kinds of things. And so one of the big things that people talk about, and we talked about this a little bit the other day, is self-care. So, and we talked, if you're a screenreader, some of you here are, Bonnie, Peggy. We talked about this last week in Screenreader, but we just put a little checklist of things for you to think about. This is across the board, hands down. Anyone who has a successful entrepreneurial business does this. There's always outliers, but it has been kind of astounding to me. Like most people, as we do in our trainings that we do with Hollywood screenreaders, we do a whole section on self-care. And, you as an entrepreneur, you need to, put the mask on yourself. It's an analogy, right? Before you put it on other people, you need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Otherwise, your business will suffer. And so that's true if you're a writer, all of that. Breaking news. Anson says, we've entered our first contest of the season. Hooray. Excited, but don't be cautious. Be optimistic, but cautiously optimistic as always. Thank you for your support through the process. Anson is the stellar example of how to use the Hollywood Gatekeepers Facebook group. He's not in the Screenreaders program, and he's crushing it in here. So hashtag don't be wonk wonk. Totally, Jackie. I think we need to put it on our cup. Do I have my cup? I don't have my cup. I thought I did. So he's a really good example of, how you can use this Facebook group. You don't necessarily have to be in the Screenreaders group. And he's doing a fabulous job. And as a writer, he's doing more writing, but I'm sure you read things too. Wouldn't surprise me. Because we want to support that as well. How you learn is how you learn. It's all good. We don't care. We want to do whatever works for you. So that's where we're at with that. So one of the things is that they talk about quite a bit is self-care. And so we talk about that in our course. We talk about it as an entrepreneur. You do long hours. And for anyone who's in the Screenreader course knows that what's my biggest challenge? Sleep. I don't sleep. I keep saying I'm trying. I'm working on it. But it's not that I can't sleep. I don't have insomnia. I get excited and I'm working and I'm writing and I have so many projects and it's like fire hoses of opportunities everywhere. And this week I met with 2 new people, that one I'd never met before, and it was awesome, from the Screen Actors Guild, and she's going to be a guest and she's going to be amazing. And so I'm making these new friends as I do this. And one was an old he's not old, but he's a friend, and he was my story editor at a very big company. And so he's a big wig at some other company now. And so it was just so great to sit down with him and just kind of talk about, this is what we're doing now and how can we help people and wah, wah, wah. That was wah, wah, wah. That's the good people. Wah, wah, wah. The naysayers are wonk, wonk, wonk. So be a wah, wah, not a wonk, wonk. That's our code. I think we need that. I'm a wah, wah, not a wonk, wonk. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. So we put a little checklist together for you. So you need to look at those things: meditate, exercise, eat well, sleep, drink water, right? Playtime. Make sure that you have playtime. To me, this is playtime. I love it. Community. Be involved in your community. Give back. Pay it forward. Read for other people. Do these things. Make sure that you prioritize your family, all of those things. And then find the following people to study. So now we're backing up with some actual activity with the things that we talked about before. We did a little handout so you can kind of figure it out. Like, who are some of the mentors that you can follow? And we gave you a few examples. A celebrity is kind of obvious. Someone in history. They don't necessarily even have to be living. We just watched I'm so terrible at titles, but it's the documentary about the woman that lied about the blood things. Anyone? This woman doesn't blink. Wow, really interesting. But she to her credit, and I think she actually still believes that it could work, and she still just like she never had the tech behind her, but she just was such a believer, and she studied Edison and clearly Steve Jobs a little bit obsessively so. But so she's looking back at people, and I don't know that she's the greatest example because it was all weird and wrong, but it's still fascinating. It's still a fascinating example of what you can accomplish. Unfortunately, she had not a lot. She has this weird level of disconnect, but God darn how she got people behind her. Kind of amazing. And that is also kind of telling in how badly people want to believe in something good, right? People so badly want to believe in something good. And you see all these people like that were following her, like they so badly, like, Henry Kissinger, they so badly want good things to happen that they just want to believe. And I would go to movies too, because when you go to movies, you see how easily people laugh and cry, and they just want to be moved. They want to be connected. It's the same thing. People are people are people. So you can look at people in history. You can look at someone in your community, maybe that you know or don't know. Is your mayor super cool? Like someone that's doing things that you want. Well, and then I go to politicians, you can be inspired both by people you love, both by people you hate. We talked about this in masterminds. If you're trying to make sure that you get up and exercise every day, then you tell someone, you give them, I don't know, an amount of money to keep for you. And then you say, donate to a cause I hate, donate to a politician I hate. If I don't text you and say, hey, I went to the gym today, and then don't lie. Is it someone someone is a family member? And then we left a little space of who else might it be? Who else? And then kind of the power of showing up. So wait, let me just double check. What's sleep, says Bonnie. Hi, Cindy. Cindy's here too. Yay, wah, wah. Exactly. Yes, my friend now works for a very big company. Oh, and we had a moment. This is so awesome, with a very important job. And they have this whole, I think he said it was 17 acres was they have their own zip code. That's how big this company is. So we're cruising around the display thing that they had. And he goes, okay, they're doing a training in here. Thank you, Theranos. I'll get to that in a moment. And so we open the door and sneaking in because they're doing a training, and then the trainer stops and he was like, well, hello, is there anything we need to do? And he goes, no, carry on. That's what I want. I want to walk in somewhere and go, carry on, everybody. And they all went, okay, because they were all like, oh, boss. I was like, ooh. I'll never forget. This is a really funny story. I met a guy I knew he was a fireman. We were in this leadership thing together, became fast friends. Hilarious. He's literally he's at least 7 feet tall, gigantic, super sweet, really, really just tough. I mean, jumps out of airplanes to put out fires, that kind of tough, really tough. And so, but I knew he was a fireman, but I had no idea, whatever. And I knew we were in a leadership program. I should have put two together, but I didn't. And then I came and I brought my son, who was little at the time. Let's go visit the fire station. And we're at the fire station. And well, I was kind of joking around, whatever. And then I noticed that everybody around him was all stiff and whatever. And then he said, hey, so-and-so, can you blah, blah, blah. And she goes, yes, sir. And I was like, ooh, sir. And he kind of looks at me and shakes his head. And kind of looks down at me because I'm a foot shorter than he is. Well, 2 feet shorter. And he's kind of laughs at me. And then someone else said, yes, Captain. And I went, Captain? And he was like, yeah, I'm the captain. What of it? Poor guy. And now he's the deputy chief. People are people, right? He's like, I'm the captain. Yeah, I'm the captain. Stop my foot. So it is people are people, right? Yeah, sleep. No, but you should sleep. Let's not have it as a badge of honor that we don't sleep. So I mean, not to jump on you, but I want to make sure that you do sleep. It's important, and I should sleep too. And so it is important. That's when you heal. If you have any ailments, you need to give them a chance to heal. So I don't sleep and then I limp, and it's come on, girl, get some rest. So anyway, but Theranos, yeah. So she's a really, really interesting example of someone who followed someone to kind of the nth degree, and then kind of, took it to crazy town. But it's super fascinating, right? It's so fascinating, super cool. You guys should definitely check that out. And it's storytelling to the nth degree. And as a writer and a reader and an entertainer, anyone in the business, being able to follow that story and just see how badly, like I said, that people want to follow and people want to be, they want to be moved. They want to help each other. People are just, I love people because they're so optimistic. That's what payment plans are. We talk about this. We have a whole program. You know what? Let's put a link to that too. The self-starter system. We have a whole program, kind of how to get started with some of these habits and that kind of thing. And people are just internally optimistic, and that's what payment plans are built on. Is everyone thinks that they're going to be making more money later, 0% down, and then you can pay later because we're all going to be rich later. And people believe that and think that, and they act from that place. It's a good thing and a bad thing. I love the optimism of that. It's terrible practice, but I love the optimism. All right. So interesting, right? So let me take a look at this handout again. So then it comes down to, okay, so you're going to build this tribe, right? So that's the last thing, is that you're building a tribe. How do you do that? Hello, where do you meet people? How can you do this? We put Hollywood Gatekeepers as number one. Number one, my Lord. Yeah, here we are. Talk to us. Let us know what support you need. You can take classes at schools. You can go to meetup groups. I'm going to join a French meetup group because I'm now getting emails like I've just passed this level of French now, that they're like, oui, now you can come speak. They haven't heard me yet. That's why. So meetup groups, nonprofit volunteering is a great way to meet people. Also, once you helium, I call it helium hand. Once you volunteer, I got this in a nonprofit group. The minute you do that, it can snowball into really cool things. So you can like start on one level, and pretty soon you're like on the board, and then that's when you meet like really high level people. Super cool. Social media, obviously, networking events. Where else might you meet people? If you are a reader and you want to try and get clients, you can go speak at groups and talk about what you're doing. You can speak Chamber of Commerce's, the Kiwanis, the Rotary Clubs, the YMCAs, the Assistance Leagues, like all of these nonprofits are always looking for people to come present to their members. And so they're always looking for, if you're a screenwriter and you want people to know what you're doing, you can go speak to these groups. It's a really good way to meet people. It's a really good way to, get out there. And now they're facing federal charges. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. But her story's not over. She's very young. I'll be really curious to see where she goes. And I'll be really curious to see, I'm sure their defense, well, I'm not sure. If it were me, the defense for the Theranos woman, what's her name, Anson? I should know this. I just watched it last night. Right to the, even in as they're, everything's crumbling, she's saying, oh yes, it's possible and we're not done. And I think that's going to be a defense, is that I don't know that she could plead insanity, but it is that thing of she still believes it. And so she's not, in some ways, that's not fraudulent. She's not being fraudulent. So there's another good movie. Oh, I'm so terrible at movie titles. I've read too many screenplays is why. We've talked about this movie before. Okay, quiz, whoever gets this movie, here comes the gift card. Okay, who gets this movie? All right, so it's a movie about, if I guess, and Doug, not you. Last time he was like, I know. Okay, so it's a movie about a guy who claims that there was no Holocaust. And it's Rachel Weisz plays the woman who sues him and says, no, this is true. But then the final, well, it's kind of a spoiler, but they talk about this idea that if this guy really believes it, is he committing fraud by writing this book saying that there was no Holocaust? If that's what he really believes, it is not against the law to be anti-Semitic. It's horrible, but it's not, it's against the law to act on it in a hateful way. But he's just writing a book from his opinion. So really interesting and brilliant movie. Elizabeth Holmes, thank you. He's doing so well. Doug's like, oh, hi, Jean. Nice to see you. So Elizabeth Holmes. I was going to say Elizabeth. No, I wasn't. No, I was going to say Betsy, but Betsy's the one that gave her money. The head of education. There's something so beautiful about that. Is she still the head of education? Anson, I believe you are a winner. Right? That's the name of it, right? Denial? Does that sound right? Someone Google that. And when we do that, you better not have Googled or IMDb that. Came from your brain, right? Right? Because I could do that. No, phones down. That should be like, anytime I'm trying to think of a title, phones down. I think it is Denial. I think that is right. Really good movie. Definitely should watch that. Interesting, fascinating, cool. So anyway, but that's an interesting concept, right? So anyway, getting way off the topic, but it is still in the topic in a weird way because it is about that. It's about inspiring people, meeting people, supporting people. She got, billions, close to, I think it was billions, right? Or like close to that. She got a lot of money anyway, about, with this idea, provided all kinds of jobs to people trying to figure it out. And, Jobs famously was like, no, I want one button. And they were like, that's not possible. And then they did this prototype and he pretended like it worked and it didn't work. And it was a disaster. That's what she was doing. And a lot of the times it takes that person going, no, this is possible. And they absolutely 100% believe it's possible. And then you get the, chief scientist back there trying to figure out how to make it happen. And sometimes people do. In this case, not so much. And I think in part is because we're an impatient group. We are a squirrel society and it's like, shiny object. And so it wasn't happening fast enough for what people wanted. And they got ahead of themselves and putting it out there first. If they had just taken their time, they may have gotten there. I don't know. And I don't know why box had to be this big. You guys seriously need to see it. Why couldn't it be the size of a water cooler? Anyway, getting way off point, but it's not off point in that it is that thing of people really wanting to believe and people really needing that tribe and how she was able to create this amazing tribe. And I wasn't going to use her as a case study, but clearly she's a great one. So Anson gets the 25 gift. That's twice he's won a gift card. He's so lucky and smart. And now you can print more scripts. Yay. So I hope that helps. I hope it gives you an idea of how you are an entrepreneur. I hope it really lets you know that you do have a tribe and that you come in here and people will make comments and support you. And if they don't, we toss them out. Okay. One thing though about this awesome group, I have reached out to folks, have read a few scripts and given feedback. Awesome. I'm also collaborating with a group member on a screenplay currently. All you have to do is reach out and you'll have stuff to do. Boom. Boom. That gets a cheer. Right? That's exactly. So I'm so glad that was perfect timing. Thank you. Because yeah, it's the power of showing up. It's the power of reaching out. It's the power of the ask. If you type into the search bar, power of the ask, you'll see another Facebook Live we did about that. It is that ability, that willingness to put yourself out there. And so many people, the wonk people will say, someone's going to steal my script. That's the first thing. And we actually joked about that yesterday in my meeting with this bigwig who, he never worried about that. Let's just put it that way. It's like, yeah, even if someone did steal your script, it's not going to be the same script once they're done with it. Everybody comes at things in a different way. And so all you have to do, this is the greatest quote ever, is reach out and you'll have stuff to do. It's very eloquent. It's so great though, right? And that's why we're here. And that's what we want to do. And we've actually started to put posts like, hey, who's in the horror genre? We're trying to get you guys to connect to each other. We want you to connect. We want you to share things. We want it to happen. And that's why we're here. We want that. We're not just trying to be here to be like, hey, take our course. We love having people take our course. That's a whole nother thing. And we dive really deep in there. And that group is like super tight knit and awesome. That's one factor of what we do. We talk about being an entrepreneur. We talk about being the French. Did you know the French don't have a word for entrepreneur? We talk about being an entrepreneur. We talk about, being a reader. We talk about being a writer. We talk about being an actor. We really want that thing. And so that's just, we talk about all these topics and some people go, when am I going to get my script? When am I going to get, when? And I get that frustration because some people are in here going, what are you talking about? You're only talking about that. You're not talking about reading. But if you're finding that we're not talking about the thing that you're wanting us to talk about, let me know and we'll try to do that. And usually what I'll tell you is come into the lives if you can. Even if you can't do it live, you can still make a comment and we see that. We can comment on it. Ask a question. It's totally fine. Type into the search bar in the Facebook group and just type the search bar and all the posts that have to do with whatever it is that you want to talk about, type of coverage and you'll see all the things that we've done about coverage, or you can go to the YouTube channel now because we're putting all of the Facebook lives in there and we've got them all organized for you because that's who we are. And so we haven't officially launched the YouTube channel. It's going to go tandem with the podcast. So there you have it. And that was a little great. I love it when it all we're just worlds colliding. There it is again. And we really, we're super sincere about being there for you. And I am not anyone that's when I was like saying, where am I going to read a script? I'm not mocking you in any shape or form. I don't mean it like that. I do. I just get carried away. But because we really do want to be there for you. And if you really do want to know when are you going to read your script, it's not just about getting a script to read. It's about learning the process. And if you do want a script to read, you can reach out, and there's plenty of people here that will share their stuff if you want to practice that. But being a reader isn't just about, here, read this script. Actually, in some cases it is. But we feel that does not do a service to the producer, to the script, or to the writer. When you hand someone, here, read the script, that doesn't know what the heck they're doing, it's not going to matter. It's not as, we want to we're raising that bar. We really want people that read scripts to know what they're doing. That's why we're here. So that's my soapbox, and I'm sticking to it. Wada. Someone. It was quite a weekend. I also met with the new artistic director for my theater company. I'm the CEO. And he was like, as long as we're not doing what he called elbow acting. I've never heard that before. Elbow acting, yada, 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 wada. I do a lot of elbow acting here, I think. That's elbow acting. But it's not acting. It's just me. Awesome. Jackie, here we go. I have a web-based show that is going on 7 years old now. Awesome. We bring talent from all around the globe talking about what they create and their process. My Gmail is zombiepaloozaradio@gmail.com. Just let me know that you're part of this group, and I will do what I can to get you live interviewed. Boom. This is so good. Jackie, you rock. Thank you for that. You rock. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the kind of thing. These are the building blocks. This is like exactly the thing that we're talking. It's going to make me cry. It's like, I'm an easy crier though. So when I cry at your screenplay, really not that big of a deal. And anyone who knows me knows that. Anyway, but because that's why we're here. And it is that thing, like that's what it takes. And that's how you meet people. And I bet with one of the head people at the foundations, because we, in the first 2 seconds, were like just fast friends, and we connected, and I told her what we were doing here, and she was just blown away. And so we've been building on that, and that's what it's about. So if you do have something going on, what is the name of the show, the web-based show? Please, is there, Zombie Palooza Radio. Is that what it's called? I'm assuming.com. Is that right? Let us know, and we will share that sucker out. Absolutely. Let's share it and let people know about it. And then that's awesome. And that's Jackie's being really smart, because now she's going to find good guests that way as well. And I'm sure she'll weed through it and she'll figure it out. So that's, we get guests that way too. Now this person from the SAG Foundation is going to come be on the show, and we're going to do a bunch of stuff, and we're super excited. That's how it works. That's how it works. So let's build that tribe. Let's get out there, do your 3 things, find your mentor, build your tribe. Cool. Okay. Awesome. So we will see you next week. I don't know what we're talking about next week, actual mole. No, I don't think we've picked it. For a while there, we had them all laid out. We're so organized. And then we started the YouTube channel and the podcast. It's been a little wonky lately. In a good way, though, not like the wonk wonk people. It's been a little wazzy lately. How about that? That's better. But yeah, we will be back next week. Zombie Palooza Radio Live, same on YouTube. Check that out. I'll be posting about that for sure. We'll share it out, and we'll share it out on the YouTube channel as well, because that's super cool. And Zombie Palooza doesn't get much better than that. All right, so you got to check out Mabel 6 Feet Under. It's the haunt that I was very involved in doing marketing, but it's actually on hiatus for a while. So good to see you guys. We will see you next week, and let us know how it's going. And Anson, we've got your info. We'll get you that gift card. He's like, I love this group. This is working well. Best group ever. It is. And part of that is because of you, all of you. So we'll see you next week. Thanks, you guys. Talk to you soon. Yay. Yay. Now, and YouTube too. So now I have to bring. All right. So I got to look at the camera, which is there, and my YouTube channel, which is over here. So now I'm going to bring the YouTube channel back. So you're watching us on YouTube. We're super happy to have you here, and we are going to continue. I'm going to do some videos that are only for YouTube, which I think will help as well. So look out for that. We will put all the links that we talked about below, and super happy to have you here as well. All right. We will talk to you soon.